Hi, this is Nana. Welcome to Bitworld. So today I'll be teaching you an important problem, that is graph creation and various operations using Python. So we will be doing all these operations on the graph, which we'll be creating by using Python dictionaries. So graphs basically are important when it comes to from algorithm point of view. So let's see how we can create graphs using dictionaries in Python. So I've already created this Python file. So basically what you have to do is you have to install Python, and you have to go and type over here Python, and you have to go to idle, and here just create a new file and just write the code. Okay, so let's minimize this. Okay, so quickly we'll see the creation of the graph. So basically I'm creating this graph using dictionaries. So what is dictionary in Python? So I'll give a quick introduction of dictionaries. So basically it's a type of data structure in Python, which is something like an hash map. For example, I want to create a dictionary of number of students in the class along with their marks. So what I'll do is students is equal to say Nana say she has got maybe 45 marks in maths. Oh, sorry, 46 in physics, and let's say 50 in chemistry. Okay, and so there might be another student, let's say Ankur. He has got say 67, 23, 45. Okay, so basically this is the name of the dictionary, students, and these are the keys, and these are the values associated with that. So like we see in hash map, we have got key and value pair. So if I want to access marks of Nana, so what I'll do is I'll just write print students dot keys where. Okay, so this will list out all the keys which are there in my dictionary students. And if I write students dot values, so it will give all the values which are associated with these keys. So this is the concept of dictionary in Python. So let's quickly see. So I have created a graph over here, and if you see in PDF what exactly this graph is, so here. Okay, so A is the key, that is a node. In a graph you can see there are two main important things: a node, that is a vertex, and the edge. Okay, so if I write that A is my key, and it has got its neighboring keys as A, B, C. So what does it mean? It simply means A is connected to A is simply connected to A is connected to B, and A is connected to C. In the very same way, for B node, B is connected to C and B is connected to D. Okay, so you can see there is an edge between them. C is connected to D. In the very same way, D is connected to C. So likewise, and here G and P, these two are isolated vertex or nodes. Okay, and since A is connected to A, so it is called a self loop of A. Okay, so we'll quickly see how we actually can execute various operations on this graph. So let's quickly see what is the first operation, that is creation of graph using dictionaries, that we have completed. I've shown you how to create a graph. Second is generating edges. Okay, so basically if this is a graph, so here while creating of the dictionaries, we are just representing that yes, we have got a node A, we have got node B, we have got node C, D, E, F, P, G, but we are supposed to generate an edge between them. So how to do that? Okay, edge between A and B is this line. Okay, so this is the function which I have written for generate edges. So I'm from here I'm calling, okay, generate edges, this one. So here I'm calling generate edges function, and here I'm passing my whole graph. Okay, so let's go to the function. Okay, so basically initially we have created a list which is empty. So basically the logic says if you want to create an edge between a particular node, so let's say from A to B, so basically you should know the node in the graph and the corresponding neighbor node to which you want to connect. So basically I have created a list, an empty list, and here I'm traversing through the graphs for nodes in graph. That is, if you traverse through it, then so basically it will take first value as A in graph, then second loop is for neighbor in graph for that particular node. That means for the neighbor of A, that means for this edges dot append in this list dot append the node, that is my node A, and its neighbor, the neighbor which I have just now found, that is B. So basically how it finds that this is the neighbor. So basically if you see the graph in the dictionary, we have written all the values to which A is associated. So what it will do is A, it will create an edge for itself, it will create an edge for B, and it will create an edge for C. So basically with this it gets to know that for node A, B, C are the neighbors, and it will traverse through those neighbors and it will append the node as well as the neighbor. Okay, so if I run this, okay, let's see. There are various functions which I have implemented, but we'll concentrate for this. So the edges, the generated edges are B and C, B and D. If you see the graph, you will find it. Okay, for dictionaries are always unordered, so basically you will not get an edge starting from A. It can be from B, it can be from C, it can be from D. Okay, so that is why, so from B to C there is an edge it has generated, so from B to D it has generated an edge, then from F to C it has generated, then from E to F it has generated. In the very same way, likewise for A to A it has generated the self loop. So in this way we have generated the edges. Okay, now third thing, third operation is to find a path between two nodes. Okay, this is one of the general question which comes in the interviews, that if you are given two nodes, say A and D, and you have to find whether whether there exists a path between these two nodes A and D. So how you gonna approach that? So basically what you have to do is, okay, let's go over here. Okay, this is the function name. So basically this is the graph that this one that I'm passing, then A, that is the start vertex, and D. So basically in this function I'm trying to find the path between A to D, whether it exists or not, and if it exists, then show me all the vertices through which this path goes. Okay, so let's go to the function find path to vertices. Okay, this is the function. So basically I have created a list. So I'll quickly tell you the concept of list. So basically taking this out. Okay, list is something like an array. So in Python we have got list. So say list 1 is equal to, let's say, Nana Sudha Amar, etc. So like the way we actually use array, here in Python we have got list, through which which has got same role as an array, and here for Nana the index, it starts from 0. So if you write print list 1 0, then it will give you output as Nana. So basically it functions like this, like same as arrays. So the index for this is 0 1 2, and if you go if you write -1, so then it will print so basically -1 means it will start from here. So this is a quick overview of list. Okay, so I have created an empty list for the path. Okay, so graph start is RA and end is D. So path is equals to path plus start. That means I am putting inside the path my first node. Okay, so I need to check the edge cases, like if my start and end both are same, then the path itself is like, it will return A, that is your starting vertex. If the starting node, that here in this case A, is not there in the graph, then it will return none. But if the start and end both are different, in that case how to get the path between these two vertices? So suppose A and D, A is my start and D is my end. So for node in graph start, like the way I explained you in the previous function, it will start for the node A, graph of A. So basically that means is if we write for nodes in graph of start, so that basically means it will traverse through the dictionary of A. So because my start vertex here is A, and whatever neighbors it finds, it will traverse through them. Okay, so for node in graph start, So it will go to, there are only two nodes, B and C, and the self loop A. Okay, so it will go to B, that is if node not in path. Since see, if right now the path is only having vertex A, so basically it doesn't have B, so it will traverse. Okay, this function is called recursion. Okay, here it is going recursively to find those vertices which are not present in the path yet. So it will go to B. Okay, once it will include B in the path, then it will go for C. So basically it will backtrack. Okay, once it is done with B, then it will go to again back to A, then it will go to C. So in this way I'll be able to find the path between A, B and C. In the very same way, once I'm done with the neighbors of A, that is B and C, then it will go to the node B and it will find the adjacent neighbors of B. So it will be D and C. Okay, then once it is done with B, then it will go to the adjacent neighbors of it will go to the node C, and it will try to find the neighbors of C, that is A and D and F. But here I just need the path between A and D, so basically it will find the path as A, B, C and D. So if I run this, okay, so here you can see the path between two vertices, that is A and D, is A, B, C and D. Okay, so here we successfully implemented the third point. Now coming to the fourth point, let's say finding the shortest path between two nodes. Okay, what is shortest path? Okay, if I say like if I want to go from A to D, what would be the shortest path? It can be A, B and D, sorry, A, B and D, or it can be A, C, D. It will not be A, B, C, D. Okay, the shortest path means the minimum number of vertices I need to come to go from the start to end vertex, and it should be a path. Okay, so basically how to go about it. Okay, so here I am calling the function shortest path between two vertices, and here again I have given A to D. Okay, so let's go to shortest path. Okay, shortest path. Well, this function is same as before. I have created an empty list for path, then I have included the start vertex, that is vertex A, to my path. Then if both are same, then it will return the path itself, that is vertex A. If the start vertex is not present, if not start in graph, then it will just return none. Sorry. Okay, yeah, then now the shortest path. Okay, so shortest path is equal to, now I have taken this variable. Okay, I've initialized as none. Okay, now I'll traverse through the graph. So for node in graph, for vertex A, that is the adjacent vertices of A, that is, if you see the graph, it is B and C. Okay, so it will first find the neighbors, that is B. Okay, if node, that is B, not in path, yeah, right now B is not in path. Okay, what it will do is it will go recursively now. Okay, new path is equals to shortest path between the two vertices, that is graph comma node means B and end means what it will try to find is the shortest path between B and B, C, D. Okay, then it will find the shortest path between C and D. Okay, once it will find the shortest path between C and D, it will return back the result, and then it will try to find the shortest path between B and the result of C and D. Okay, then whatever is the result of this, it will go to A, and whatever it will be, that will be the new path. So in a way, here recursion is coming into picture. And if there is a new path, okay, if there is a new path, okay, so how we actually can get to know whether my path is the shortest path or not. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll compare the length of the path. Okay, I'll compare the length of the path which I have got with the shortest path, and if I find a shortest path, then what I'll do is I'll assign that new path to the shortest variable which I have initialized, which I have used here. Okay, shortest, and I'll return the shortest. Okay, so if you see the output for this, then you will see, okay, the shortest path between A to D is ACD. Okay, if you see the diagram, then it is A, C and D. Okay, or rather it can be A, B, D, but for now, I mean, it is showing ACD, and that is also, it has got the same length. Okay, now coming to the fifth point, determine cycle in the graph. Okay, cycle means an inner loop. Okay, for example, if you see the dictionary, A is connected to A, so there is automatically a cycle in the graph. Okay, this is the cycle, the self loop. Okay, so how to determine it? So I'll basically calling the function find cycle on the single node. Okay, and what I'm doing is I am giving the node D. Okay, so node D, if you see in the graph, it doesn't have a cycle. Okay, on itself. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll go to, yeah, first if I want to find whether there exists a cycle on that particular node, I've passed the graph from that function and the start. Okay, so what I'll do is for node in graph, for the particular node which has got passed, if there is a node, if there is an adjacent node, okay, which is equal to start. Okay, for say, let's say for D, there is no node in the values of D. See, in the values of D, there is no such node which is equal to D. Okay, if I write here as D comma this, sorry, let's say we'll not write this. What we'll do is we'll take it as A, because see, for key A we have got a value A, so there is a self loop. Okay, so if I see the output for this, then I can see that here it is showing no cycle exist. That was an output for D vertex. I'll run it once again. Okay, so what I can see is that there exists a cycle. Okay, because I can see that for key A, I have got a value A in my dictionary. Okay, this is how we actually can find whether the cycle exists or not. Then finding all paths in a graph. So basically all paths in the sense how many paths are actually there in the graph. Okay, so find all paths. So there is a path, like if you see A B C D, A B D, okay, A C D, okay, so this is a very simple function. It is actually very same, but I'll just the only difference is that I have included one list, that is found paths, and here I am updating whatever new paths I am finding while traversing through the nodes. So it's the very same like the previous function which I have explained. It is just that I have got a list and I am appending the new paths in this, and I am returning the found paths. Okay, Then coming to finding isolated nodes. Okay, isolated means here you can see the node P and G are isolated node. So that means these nodes are not connected to any other node in the graph, and these are totally isolated. Okay, so how to find these nodes? Okay, so first of those, so I'll find out find isolated node. Okay, yeah, so here is a function for that. Okay, I have passed on the graph. Okay, the isolated node means like for a particular graph there is no value for this. Okay, for G there is no value for G key G, and likewise there is no value for key P. So if you see isolated node, I have created a list, empty list for node in graph. Okay, I'll traverse through one by one, each and every node. Okay, node A, B, C, D, E, F and G and P. Okay, for each and every node. If not graph in node, okay, if that is not that's this line simply means that there is the value for this node is nothing. Okay, like this. Okay, isolated node dot append those nodes, okay, for which I have got an empty value. Those nodes will get appended to my isolated node list, and I am returning it here. So if I run this, then the output is okay. So you can see the isolated edges G and P. And the last function, not the last, okay, add an edge. Okay, if you already have generated the edges in the second point, and if you want to add an edge, okay, so what you will do is you will pass the nodes between which you want to add the edges. Okay, so let's say I want to add an edge between A and E. So I'll go to add edge function. Okay, here I am using set. Okay, whatever you have passed, that will come as an edge. Okay, and what I am doing is I'm taking another variable that is edge, and I'm using the function set. Okay, how set works? Okay, if you don't want duplicates in your list, then in that case you will use the set. So basically if I want an edge between node A and E, so these two are individual nodes, these are not duplicates. Okay, if I write A and A, so in that case if you pass it to set, then it will just return A to edge. Okay, and here I am creating n1 and n2, that is node n1 and node n1 and node n2 is equal to tuple. Here I am creating as a tuple. Okay, tuple is just like list, but list data structure, but here in tuples are, they can't be changed like the way a list can be changed. Okay, so what I am doing is for node n1, that is here for I am trying to add an edge between A and E. Okay, so A is my n1 and n2 is my E. Okay, if n1, that is A in graph, if it is there, then graph of A dot append will be this n2. So basically for A key, it will add E as one another value. Okay, if n1 is not present, then graph of n1 is equal to n2. So a new key, that is a new value for graph A would be created. Okay, so basically what is happening is, here in this case n1 is already present, that is A is already present, and it will just append to this list. Okay, so if I go down, so here is my A, and it will just append E over here. Okay, if A is not present, then it will create a key and a value with the n2 as the node. Okay, so this is how you actually can add the edge. Okay, if you see the output, then in that case you can see add an edge. So I have added an edge. Okay, add an edge, and you actually can see for yeah, for E there is an edge A. Okay, so in this way I have added an edge between them, and since this is an undirected graph, okay, so an a node value an edge between A and E, that simply implies there is an edge between A and E as well. Okay, okay, then the last point is finding the degree of the vertex. So degree basically means how many outgoing edges are there for a particular node. For example, for A there are three, 1 to B, 1 to C, and to itself. Okay, so how you will be able to count how many edges are going out. So basically the edges which are going out, that defines the degree of that particular vertex. Okay, so I'll call the function find degree of the vertex, and okay, find degree, and let's say degree is equals to 0 and t is equals to nothing. Okay, I simply have to traverse through the traverse through the values of A to so as to find how many neighbors it has. Okay, the number of neighbors is equal to the number of degrees. Okay, for example, if A has got 3 neighbors, then that becomes the degree of A. So what I have done is I have traversed for neighbor in graph node of A. I have appended the neighbors. Okay, and in the very same way I have incremented degree, and I have returned the degree, so it comes out to be 3. You see the output, then you can see the degree of the vertex is 3. And going to the last operation, find if the graph is connected or not. Okay, graph is connected when there is a path from each vertex to other vertex. Okay, so if I want to say that, like, whether this graph is connected or not, you can say this graph is not connected. Okay, because you can go from A to B to C to D, then from C you can go to E to F to E. Okay, but if you want to go to P and G, in that case you will not be able to. So basically this graph is not connected. Okay, so how to find this? Okay, so I have just passed a graph and with a node which is already seen and the start node. Okay, so graph connected. So here the node which is here I have initialized to none. Okay, if the scene node is equals to none, then seed node is equals to set. Okay, then to avoid the duplicacy. Okay, then nodes equals to list of graph of keys. Okay, basically if you want to know whether the graph is connected or not, so in that case you have to have a list of all the graph keys. Okay, so that basically means you have to have a list of all the keys like A, B, C, D, E, F, P and G. Okay, and if start is not given, then the node, the vertex which is there on the 0th index would be the start. Okay, so for this graph dot keys, the one which is there at the 0th index, so basically the one which is there, it can be A or B or C or D, since dictionaries are unordered, so it can be anything. Okay, so that will become my start vertex. Okay, scene node dot add. Okay, I have added this, the first vertex in my scene node, because I have already seen my start vertex. Okay, now if I want to see that the graph is connected or not, in that case I'm comparing the length of scene node, that is A, is less than, if it is less than the length of nodes, all the nodes. Okay, so basically here it is less because it just has A, and the length of nodes is how much? A, B, C, D, E, F, G and P, basically 8. So it is less. For that many times it will go to this loop. So for other nodes in graph of start, so basically for the neighbors of A, if the neighbors not seen in scene node, if they are not already present in the scene node, what it will do is it will recursively call that the get connect graph connected function for that particular scene node. Okay, so basically if it sees it like for, if my starting vertex is B, okay, so if it sees its neighbors as C, okay, then what it will do is first it will check if it is seen, if it is there in the scene node or not. Okay, obviously it is not there. So what it will do is it will go to it will recursively go. Okay, so if graph connected for C node, okay, for C node it will find D, okay, for D it will find C, okay, and in the very same way it will try to find for each and every vertex. Okay, and recursively it will go through, and once found, then if this condition satisfied, it will return true. Okay, else it will return true because I have got just the start vertex, and if it is just the start vertex, then it will return true, otherwise it will return false. So if you see the output, then you can see the graph is not connected as expected because my graph is this. Okay, not I'll be not able to reach from A to G because there is no such path. So there is, the graph is not connected. So these are very important. These are from interview point of view, these are really very important questions which are asked in the interviews. Okay, so basically what I suggest is try to implement these operations on your own, and find it out how better you actually can implement these functions. And this is all from my side. If you have any doubts or any suggestions, please let me know or comment on this video. Thank you.